again, it's Sharon here. We're going to do a fairly mixed class and using the ball for the majority of it. We're going to start by standing up today. So standing with your ball between your ankles. Just tie my hair back, this is going to get in the way, isn't it? Okay. So nice and tall, relax the shoulders around. Just give them a little roll around to loosen off. Around. And then roll your shoulders forward and down. Forward and down. And down. Then tuck your chin down to your chest. And looking up. Tuck your chin down. Looking up. Tuck the chin down. Looking up. Okay, chin down and then slide your hands down. So slowly slide your hands down and down until you get a little bit of a stretch to the backs of the legs. Your arms hang down loose. Keep the knees slightly softened so don't lock the knees out. And then slowly roll back up again. Shoulders back and hands down by your side. And roll the shoulders forward, slide your hands down and hold. Roll back up again, shoulders back. Okay, this time we're going to go all the way down. So tuck the chin down, round the spine, hold the stretch, soften the knees, slowly walking your hands forward and coming into a plank. And then slowly walk your hands back again. Roll back up, you may need to bend the knees a little more. And again, roll the shoulders forward. Slide your hands down, walk your hands forward, and into a plank. You're going to bring your weight forward to your toes. If you're peeping over the end of your mat, draw your heels back. Your hips are staying in line with the rest of the body. The hips aren't going up just yet. Forward and back. So almost really going to fall off the end of the mat and back. Forward, get a nice stretch out through your calves. Forward and back, forward and back. It's one more, forward, back and hips up, stretching through your shoulders, lengthen out through shoulders. And again, lift the toes and heels down, onto toes, heels down, onto toes, heels down. One more, onto toes, heels down and forward again, back to a plank. Pop your knees to the floor. Flatten out the feet, sit back down to the ball, stretch your arms forward. Come up to hands and knees. Move the ball from ankles to between your knees and come back up to all fours again. Tuck your toes underneath you onto the floor. You're going to squeeze the ball between the knees and just lift the ball slightly off the floor. And down again. Squeeze and lift. And down. Squeeze, lift. And down, squeeze, lift, and down. Squeeze, lift and hold it there this time. Squeeze into the balls a little bit more, scooping through your core. Relax your shoulders, keep your neck long. And down again. And then come forward to a half plank. Lift the knees up. Bring your hips back to stretch through your shoulders. And then forward into a plank. So coming back, the hips. And forward to a plank. Coming back. And forward. Back. And forward. Coming back. And forward. Back. Forward. One more. Back. And forward. And then bring the knees down and bring your hips back. Stretch your arms forward. Your wrists a little bit of a wiggle. And then roll yourself back to your knees, bring your knees slightly apart. And with the ball in front of you, and both hands on the ball, roll the ball forward to your elbows. Rolling back through your lower back first, and rolling up through your spine. So rolling forward, lift the hips. Rolling back and tall. Rolling forward. Rolling back and tall. Just one more. Forward. Rolling back and tall. We're going to pop the ball at the end of your mat and lay down onto your front. So on your tummy, with the elbows out wide, relax the shoulders, spine into a neutral position. Straighten your arms out, stretch the shoulders. And then both hands on top of the ball. Your fingertips slightly over the top. Keeping your arms straight. Gently lift your chest and lower down again. Gently lifting up, lowering down, extending through your spine. Lift and lower, lifting up, lowering down. Not bringing the head back too much, not looking upwards. We're just looking in front. So when you lift, I'm pretty much looking at the balls. I haven't got the head down completely, just lifting up in line with the rest of the spine. Lifting up and lowering down. Lifting up and lowering back down. Let's just try one more. And lower back down. Stretch your arms out, lengthen out through your lats to the side of your back. Stretch your arms out. And then bring both hands in underneath the shoulders and then pushing up onto hands and knees. Lengthen your spine, push the back up to the ceiling, scoop out through your core and arch the back, looking upwards. Again, head down and lengthen. And then to neutral. And with the ball underneath one hand, so your hand's going to be resting on the ball. Arm is going to stay straight and lengthen the opposite leg out. Keep the arm straight in front of you. Take a deep breath in as you breathe out. Push down to the ball. Tuck the knee in. Lengthen out. So keep the neck long. The tension is through your core and into the shoulder. And lengthen. Push down, tuck. And lengthen. Push down, tuck. And lengthen. Tuck. And lengthen. Tuck. And lengthen. Just one more. And lengthen. And bring the knee in. Chain to ball to the other side. So your shoulders are still going to be level. Your hips are going to be level. So the arm is straight. You haven't got the ball in towards you. And you haven't got the wrist bent. The wrist is straight. Lengthen the opposite leg out. And just push the ball down. There's no other movement to the arm other than just pushing downwards. Push down. Tuck the knee in. Lengthen. Push down. Tuck. Lengthen. Push down. Lengthen. Push down. And lengthen. Push down. And lengthen. Down. Lengthen. One more. And lengthen. And bring the knee back in again. And bring your hips down to your heels again and stretch your arms forward. From your fingertips to your tailbones, as long as you can. Stretch the shoulders and through your lower back. And then lift your hips up. You're going to come over onto your hips. And you're going to bring your feet in front. And you're going to pop the ball between your knees. So your feet and knees are going to be hip width apart. The ball will also decide that. So with your arms in front or your hands underneath your knees, you're going to squeeze into the ball, scooping through your core, lower down halfway back. And roll up tall again. So squeeze and scoop through the core as you lower. And tall. Squeeze into the ball, zip and hollow through your core. Lower a little bit further. And tall. Squeeze, lower. Hold it there. Keep the ball as central as you can. Just straighten one leg out. And bend. So your hands can be under your thighs if you need a little bit of support. And bend. Lengthen. Keep the ball as still as you can. There might be a little bit of movement, but just try and keep those thighs and knees level. Really focusing on that ball. And bend. Lengthen. And bend. Lengthen. And bend. One more. And bend. Lift the feet up, roll down onto your back and hug your knees into your chest, rocking your knees gently back and forth. Okay, so with your hips on the floor, with your arms down by your side, slide your fingertips down towards the heels, take a deep breath in, scooping through your core, lifting both feet off the floor, Your spine's going to be neutral. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lengthen your legs away from you. Lift the legs up straight. And then bend the knees in again. So you're scooping the legs away. So imagine we're scooping, lifting, and bend. Lengthen, scoop, and lift, 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 and bend. Lengthen, scoop, and bend. Lengthen, scoop, and bend. Last one. And bend. Take the ball from between the knees, bring the ball to the floor above the head, so stretch the shoulders, bring the knees out wide. You're going to open up through the hips, arch the back slightly as you lengthen out through your abdominals. And bring the knees and feet back to hip width apart. Pop the ball onto your thighs, both hands on the ball. Keep your neck long, so try not to wrench the head forward. You're going to just roll the ball up towards the knees, lifting up. So imagine that orange stuck underneath your chin. You could just put a little tennis ball or something under your chin if you want to, just to make sure you're not lifting the chin to the chest too much. Lifting, rolling up and down. Be careful if you have got any tension through the neck. And down, rolling up, rolling down. Okay, so one more with both hands and then down. So the ball's going to stay in the middle to start with. I'm going to keep my right hand on the ball. I'm going to bring my left hand behind my head. So that hand's like a little cradle for my head, and my elbow is going to stay as wide as I comfortably can. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, with my right hand, I'm going to roll the ball up to my left knee and down. So I'm really twisting across. So I'm not so much coming up high, it's more that I'm coming over to the side. So try if you can to keep that elbow really close to the floor. So roll my right hand rolling up to my left knee. If you want to make it any harder, as you roll across to your left knee, lengthen the right leg out and down. So rolling up, optional leg lengthening, and down. Rolling up and down. Make sure your head is staying relaxed into your hand. Across and down. Across and down. Okay, one more. Back to the centre. Changing over arms. And you're going to roll that ball up and down. Rolling up and down. So optional leg lengthening. And down. My elbows staying on the floor. Keep it as close to as you can. Rolling up and down. Rolling up and down. Rolling up and down. Let's go for one more. And down. And then bring the ball back to the floor above the head again. Stretch your shoulders. Lengthen your legs out and stretch out tall. Bring your heels back in again. Pop the ball between your knees and bring your arms out wide, level with the shoulders. Pick both feet off the floor. So your hands and elbows and shoulders are glued to the floor. You bring the knees slightly to one side and then straighten both legs out, gently squeezing into the ball. Bend the knees to the centre, to the other side, and straighten and lengthen. Bend back to the centre. The side as far as you feel you can. Straighten, bend, centre, other side, straighten, bend, and centre, side, straighten, bend, centre, side, straighten, bend, and centre, side, straighten, bend, and centre, side, straighten, bend and centre, side, straighten, bend and centre, side. Straightly kick those legs out, bend and centre. One more to each side. Bend and centre, and last one, side. And bend back to the centre, hug both knees in towards you. Rock your knees gently back and forth. And then bring both feet to the floor. Keep the ball between your knees if you can. Do this without the ball though if you'd rather. Slide your fingertips down towards your heels and heels in close to your hips. And take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, tilting your pelvis, pushing your lower back into the floor. Really curl the tailbone off the mat. Release back to neutral. So my tailbone is just peeling up. Pushing my lower back into the floor. Belly button to spine. Release back to neutral. So get a nice full pelvic tilt. Tilt, squeeze and release. Some people find it helps if they just put like a triangle with their hands and thumb onto their hips. So the heels of your hands are going to be onto your hip bones, your thumbs onto your belly button, and your fingertips on the top of your pubic bone. And that triangle is just tilting. That little triangle to tilt. So remember, thumbs on belly button, fingertips on top of your pubic bone, and the heels of your hands onto your hip bones. So just tilting and release. Just keeping the ball in place, so keeping the knees parallel to the hips. Okay, and then arms down by your side. You're going to continue peeling up and rolling up into a bridge. Onto your toes if you feel more comfortable with that one, and getting a higher lift. Take a deep breath in, breathing out, rolling down back to neutral. Keep those heels in close to your hips. Gently squeeze into the ball just enough to get an extra connection through to your pelvic floor. Rolling down slowly back to neutral. Take a deep breath in. Breathing out, slowly exhaling as you roll up to your shoulders. Hold it there, take a deep breath in. And slowly exhaling, rolling down, down, back to neutral. And again, scooping, peeling up and up, breathing in, top of the bridge. Breathing out, rolling down, back to neutral. 2 more if you can. Slow control is good. Rolling up, breathing in, breathing out, slowly and down. And just 1 more, coming up into your bridge. Just hold it there in your bridge if you can for a moment. Just pulse at the top, so squeeze. Squeeze, an extra squeezing into the ball as well. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And rolling all the way down again, back to neutral. Hug both knees into your chest, lifting your tailbone off the floor. Rocking your knees back and forth. And then bring both feet to the floor. Bring the ball to the floor above the head, so stretch out through your shoulders. Lift your ribs up from your hips and bring the knees out wide, so opening through the hips but also stretching out through your inner thighs. Work those inner thighs quite a bit more there with the ball between your knees. And then bring the knees and feet back in again, and then lift the ball up above your chest. So your arms are completely straight, your elbows are locked. Now imagine that ball is like a helium balloon. It's going to lift up and up, lifting your shoulders but not your head. And now imagine it's a cannonball, it's pushing your shoulders into your floor, your arms cannot bend. So lifting up, try not to hunch your shoulders up away, up towards your ears as well. So just try and keep those necks long and your shoulders relaxed, reaching up, squeezing the shoulders down, reaching up and squeezing down, reaching up, squeezing down, reaching up, squeezing down. Just 1 more, reaching up and bring the ball back to the floor above the head. Lengthen out 1 leg, lengthen out both legs, stretch tall. Let go of the ball, circle your arms around and down by your side, shoulders down away from your ears, and reaching up again, big stretch, and around and down by your side, arms around, circling up, and around and down by your side. Reach your fingertips down towards the side of your knees, and then slide your heels in towards you. Hug your knees into your chest. If your lower back is stretched, you rock your knees back and forth. And then with your hands under your knees, rolling yourself up. Cross your legs over, roll your shoulders around, a little stretch to the shoulders, around, and then stretch over to one side. Lift your ribs up from your hips. And to the centre, the other side, stretching up and over. Back to the centre. If you can, pop your hands behind you Drop your shoulders down, lift your hands if you can, open across the chest. And relax. And you're done for today. Have a really lovely day.